Okay, here we come to the final of our set of 5 tips on kind of overcoming your fears, or at least starting to conquer some of your fears around presenting to camera. We've covered a few so far. I've had some great comments and feedback from several of you so far. Absolutely loving what you're making of this. See what you make of today's one. Now today's one, we've spoken about various things to help make it easier, to help make it flow more, to make it feel a bit more natural for you talking on video. There is gonna come a time when you're presenting to camera and you can't continue with what you're saying because you've gone so completely off track, lost where you are, said totally the wrong thing, and you have to stop and start again. And if it's a short video, you know, like a 30-second or 1 minute video, that's no bother, record it again. But what if it's a 5 minute or a 10 minute or a half-hour video? You don't have to be recording the whole thing again. How do you make that break look natural? Well, here's the thing. If I'm talking to the camera and I kind of suddenly say the wrong thing, or perhaps, I forget what I'm going to say next, pause. Sometimes just the pause is enough to enable you to have the time to think of what to say. And this works when you're presenting to audiences as well. Never underestimate the power of the pause. The power of the pause. Because so often when we're talking on camera or addressing audiences, we kind of gallop along at full speed. We're leaving the audience behind. When you slow it down a bit, when you pause, it can give them time to catch up. It gives them time to appreciate the point you've just made. And, crucially, gives your mind a little chance to kind of catch up where you are. So you might have said something, you might forget what you're going to say next. Don't go into a panic, just pause. Let them reflect on what you've said. And that gives you a good 2 or 3 seconds to figure out or remind yourself where you're going next. It'll also make a stronger connection with your audience. So that's one thing you could do. But what if it is just you said completely the wrong thing and you have to cut, or you've just ground to a total halt, or whatever, you don't talk, I forgot what I was going to say, blah, blah. Instead, again, just talk, end where you were, stop with what you were saying, pause, but as you pause, kind of almost freeze frame, stay in that position, so when you then recover and think, that's what I was going to say, you can then go back into saying it, pick up where you left off, and the beauty of that is, because you've hardly moved, when you come to edit it, you cut out the silence, it's going to look so much more natural, which means it's going to feel more natural for you. Now, yeah, that's kind of an editing stylistic thing, but it really does work wonders for a couple of reasons. One, it makes the look of the video so much better. It makes it easier for you to edit the videos, because you're not going to be suddenly jumping around. It makes it easier to edit the video. Plus, by having that discipline of, I forgot what I was going to say, so I'm just going to pause. I remember what I was going to say now, but staying in that same position, I'm going to pick up. And that brings me to my next point. By doing that, that's also kind of forcing you to slow down a little bit and to relax a little bit as well, which means you're going to find it easier to remember where you are. And it means you know that even if you do mess up partway through, you don't have to scrap the whole thing and start again. You can just pause where you are, recollect your thoughts, and then move on, which really reduces, gets rid of the pressure on you. So that's perhaps a little more of a stylistic one, but again, it all helps. When you build all of these together and kind of integrate all of them together, it really does help. And I know because I've learned these, I've gathered these, I've used these myself with my doing videos. These days, I tend to do videos in a single shot, in a single take. That's the word I was looking for, take. Do them in a single take. When I first started, the first time I was doing video, I wanted to do 5 3-minute videos. So that's like 15 minutes of video, maybe an hour, half an hour to record it, half an hour to edit it, an hour all in, bam, done, right? The first 3-minute video took me almost an entire day to do.